What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, and tuned into another edition of my vlog. I want to say thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting and all the positive comments. You know, I'm all about that positivity and that motivation. And today I just want to talk about the real versus the fake. And it's become more of a blurred separation with social media, the news, and just what you have out there right now in society. You know, it's hard to tell what's fake and what's real as far as people, as far as just life. And when you talk about the fake, you know, what you see on social media, what you see in a lot of these pictures, videos, you know, people living a certain lifestyle or doing these certain things, it's it builds status. it feeds the ego. And, you know, it gives you a bunch of the likes and the subs and everything, but behind the scenes, when you see what's really taking place, a lot of you would be surprised. Or maybe you wouldn't be surprised to know that, you know, the cars are leased, the house is borrowed, the tattoos, yeah, they were just for the video, and the beard, it was for the tough guy image. You know, people study what projects a certain image, and then they go and emulate that. It's not like back in the days where if a person was really looking the part, he was the part. You know, I was just talking with a friend of mine yesterday, and we were talking about tattoos and how if you had tattoos, you know, going back, you know, 30 years ago, you were either an ex-penitentiary dude or a biker. You know, you were a real outlaw, you were a gangster. You know, you got that to symbolize something that was representative of the streets. But now, you got people, they go do a couple months in the county and get all tatted up, or they go to the pen and get some tats, and, you know, they're not anywhere where they're going to be put in any type of predicaments, and they come out and everybody thinks they're an OG, you know, but these guys are really weenies. And you know, people hide behind these facades, and when you confront these individuals, a lot of times, you know, their first thing to do, well, I'm gonna call the cops on you, because they're not cut like that, man. And they send out a false message to a lot of these youngsters, thinking that they're something they're not. Because to be honest with you, trying to be that tough guy, that bearded warrior, that super Billy badass, it doesn't really mean nothing in the real world. You know, the real world is made up of people, being successful, getting along together, not basing their reality on hate, loving one another, growing, learning, science, culture, social awareness. That's what it's really about. It's not about, you know, how many people you hurt in your life, or what gang you ran with, you know, while you were in the pen. You know, that's not impressive. There's nothing or run with a gang, so you get on the street and people that are really making power moves, they're looking at you like, what was that about? You know, it doesn't have any weight out here. So really look at the big picture before you jump on these different trends that try to become, you know, what you assume is something that's going to give you status. And it's no different than, people hiding behind material items, man, and they have no substance. They might have the Richard Mille, they might have, the big gold chains and the car, and they look like they're having a good time, but life is just flying by them, man. They're not even really enjoying life as you speak. They're just basically passing through, and that's fine. But if you're not enjoying the moment, then you're missing out on a lot. I passed through prison, and I missed out on a lot in the real world. And I created a fake reality in prison so that I didn't buy into that culture when I got out, so that didn't affect my ability to be social, to be productive, to be successful when I got out. See, a lot of people buy into that culture. They buy into the hate. They buy into the negativity. And they get out, and then, it's like they're still stuck with that mentality. And it shows. Body language, facial expressions, conversation. I pick up on all of it. You can't pretend to not be a racist or somebody who just hateful of other individuals. People they'll recognize that. So it's very important that you are aware of what's real and what's fake, and that buying into an agenda, if that agenda is actually a real agenda for you, and it's something that's going to benefit you, it's something that's going to make you a better person. Because ultimately our purpose here on earth is to become the highest spiritual beings we can possibly become. Along that path you might acquire certain things that are material, that give you a sense of wealth, a sense of self, which that's all fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, you want to be able to enjoy, man. You want to be able to really live life. I mean, there's a lot of people with a lot of money, a lot of success, and they're hooked on drugs. They're popping pills. They overdose every day, and you don't hear about it because nobody wants you to know that these people are miserable. And so when people say, oh, money doesn't buy you happiness, well, being poor doesn't buy you happiness either. And being poor is un-American. So I definitely don't promote poor, but if I promote wealth, it's also having a balance of self. And that's what elevation of conscience is all about. If you just give somebody, $5, $6, $7 million, and you haven't elevated them consciously, then they're going to implode. They are not going to be able to handle the responsibility of having that kind of financial wealth, and they're not going to be able to distinguish real from fake, because all kind of fake people are going to slide up next to them, and they'll be embracing them because they're not elevated and conscious. So, I always say, check the friends that you have around you, and from time to time go out and meditate and try to find yourself to see if you're still heading in the direction you would like to go in. And let's not give any type of value to these people who are promoting hate, people who glorify hate, who glorify negativity. These people don't deserve a platform. They don't deserve a voice. They don't deserve to even be mentioned. So let's just disregard them, and let's move forward and talk about people who are actually trying to make a positive change, people who share in the growth of humanity. I took my experience in prison, man, and I wish I could have learned what I learned in prison as far as being a spiritual person, a loving person. I wish I could have learned that on the streets. I wish I could have found that before I went to prison. But there was a purpose behind me going to prison, and it wasn't necessarily be punished for the bank robbery. It was to find my higher calling, which I feel doing these vlogs, sharing positivity, and motivating people, and mentoring, and life coaching. I think that's my higher calling. It definitely wasn't to become part of any type of prison gang or shank people or, get out here and be, some type of wannabe tough guy. It wasn't that. It was bigger, man. And I used to always ask myself, what is my purpose? And I used to reflect on it, meditate, and write down notes. And, eventually I just metamorphosized into the person I am now. And I can't even imagine the mind state I was when I made the choice to participate in that bank robbery. I can't even imagine, man. It's like, who was that person? But not having people to talk to at the time, feeling like, you have limited choices. You do a lot of stupid stuff, man. So that's why I say, find you some real people around you. Watch out for the fake females, fake guys, people that superficially look good and have all this, like what you appear to be, popping ass, Instagrams and profiles, but they really is ratchet, and they're only out for themselves, and anybody they socialize with, they're trying to just use them to elevate their own status, and those aren't people you want around you, not in your inner circle. And the real people say, well, how can you know somebody's really with you because of you, or if they're genuine? Well, when you're up and coming, you're gonna have a handful of people who are gonna really have your back. As you become more and more successful, you go purchase that Aston Martin, that Lamborghini, that Ferrari, and you start pushing around town, and you got people now who are opening doors for you because of what you have, what you outwardly appear to have. They're those people aren't really the real ones. Even though some of them could be, once you talk to them and see where they came from. But it's just, it's a lot of, the higher you go up the ladder, it's gonna be a lot of bull, a lot of fake, pretentious. But that's just part of the game, man. You can't be mad at it. You just got to know how to play it. That's why I'm lacing you up and trying to give you an understanding, man. It's like being out here in LA doing the whole Hollywood thing and producing shows and networking. It's a lot of fake people, man. I can't get mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad because somebody lives on top of the hill in a $10 million, $20 million house, man. Somebody set them up well. They made a right move. I can't be mad at that. But I just know that the game is full of a lot of fake images. People who are very they're users. They don't really have any genuine interest in you outside of what they can get from you. And then I know, like I said, there's a handful of real people, man. And you'll see. You'll keep those people close to you. You'll find them. And they'll be the ones who always support what you're doing, and they believe in what your movement is. But I just wanted to share that, man, because there's, like I said, a lot of stuff going on in the news, and I don't want to give any credit to these people who are promoting negativity. And we have to, as a community, look to help each other and not just look directly beside us, but look beyond that, because sometimes we have to go a little bit further to find that help. And it's all right, man. It's all right to need to seek out help or to want help, because we don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. I'm still searching for a lot of my answers. But these vlogs help me kind of put out a positive message. At the same time, share my passions, my hobbies with you: cars, working out, nutrition, living a good life, and making a change, man. It's crazy. When I was 25, what kind of time I was on, and now I'm 46, and life is just so different. You know, and people, you think you know so much in your 20s and you don't know shit. You don't realize that you're a lost soul to some degree, unless you've really been mentored. But life is your mentor. Life, experience is what creates your understanding. And it's all about what you do with your time, man. But if I can reach some of you guys at a younger age, and like I said, if somebody would have been getting in my ear, I would have probably had a different outlook on life at the time. I would like to see more of you guys take advantage of the opportunities around you and not waste your life away. To wake up one day and be some old person sitting in a reclining chair talking about what you should have done or what you could have done. You don't want to be that person, man. Real versus fake. Keep it 100, man. Big Herc 916. Holler at me for life coaching. BigHerc916.com.